All right, we're just getting set up. All right, welcome in everybody. I'm gonna put the chat up just so I can see everybody. If you guys have comments while I'm talking or anything to say that you think we'd want to hear here at the Project for Altura, just feel free to drop your comments, hop in, and give us your honest thoughts. So tonight's episode, I want to tell it more in the form of like a TED Talk as a story. Basically, the story of you, not you today, not you maybe in this current lifetime, or at least this timeline, but the you where you cross over between realities, where you actually merge with the version of yourself that you're destined for, the person that's going to change the world, the person that's going to create and install the idea that's in your head into the real world and quite literally change your path. This isn't just something that you see in a Marvel movie or read about in a comic book. This is true. And just like they say manifestation is real, that's exactly how it works. Welcome to episode 36, The Secret Syndicate. How do 20-year-olds hack the 1% and actually escape what's been holding you back for so long without doing the rented Lamborghini videos, lying to people, scamming people into buying courses, going away about your business and your life that tears your reputation down? There's always a choice, Neo. Imagine you're 20. You're in a basement, right, set up. Maybe you're still living with your parents, as most of us are. In fact, most of us are living with our parents now closer to 30 years old just because of the economy. It's so hard to survive. The Wi-Fi is flickering. It's reading signals. It's pinging off your computer as it desperately attempts to catch up with all the work you got going on that little tiny laptop. You know that you're destined for the 1%. The 1% of people who actually persevered, who went through so many struggles with their head down without pulling out or looking up that they finally made it to the light. That is your goal. But the path, the way to get there, is gate kept by people with money. People that went through the struggle before you, had easier conditions most likely, and wanted to gatekeep the answers so they could keep their rewards in the future and make it harder for new people like you to come in and compete. These venture capitalists in suits who wouldn't bet on you if their entire portfolio depended on it because you didn't go to Stanford. Tonight, I'm going to reveal the Secret Syndicate, a private network where 20-year-olds just like you and just like me not a few years ago already hacked the system. How we fund unicorns and how we build empires in the shadows. You don't need a massive social media following to make millions of dollars. That is the biggest misconception I've heard. The best well-off people with the most peaceful lives making 30 to 50K a month, those people are mostly ghosts. Girls don't know what they do. They can't find it on their Instagram. Guys that are in their friend group barely see that they have a presence, but for some reason they're dominating in the business that they own. This isn't theory. This is the blueprint, and it starts now. So grab your popcorn, grab your notebook, open up your notes inside of Google Docs, Notion, or the Altura notebook side, and let's dial in. Imagine the 1% Club. 1,200 unicorns in 2025. That's the number. $5.6 trillion total value among these companies that took off and are now changing the world. Most of these companies will survive on their own. Some of them will get bought by larger corporations that offer them buyout deals, right? Buying companies, merging together, mergers and acquisitions, trying to eliminate competition, control the markets. Some of these people will just give up, even though they've had success, because it's too much. 5.6 trillion total value comes from CB Insights, by the way. But 99%, we have to recognize most of the people who didn't get there. Because honestly, could be you right now. It probably is you. In fact, it's 99% you. 99% of people started in this success phase with some sort of funding. They didn't just scrape together the few pennies. If they wanted to actually change the world or build something big, they had to be willing to make a deal. Now, a lot of times you guys hear the deal with the devil, right? You have to sell out. You have to do something in order to make it big. Now, that's not, blood sacrifices, right, per se, but it does mean that you're giving something away from your company. A lot of times that's just equity or ownership. 99% started by getting financial assistance, the ones that were in the 1200. And that's exactly what venture capital seeks to do. $25,000 on average was seed money from their friends and family, and then about $19 million Series A dilution. That comes from the Carta average. The trap. What I'm getting at here. Most people give up about 20 to 30% every single time they get funding for their business. By Series C, meaning, right, pre-seed is before your technology is invented, before your service is invented. It's pre-company, just idea fundraising. Seed funding is where you have the prototype and you're trying to really develop it and get into the market. Series A is where you're about less than $1 million, around $1 million in revenue. Series B is about 10 million in revenue, and Series C is 100 million or more in revenue. So by Series C, right, $100 million company, you own less than 20% of your own dream. But owning 20% of $100 million is way better than owning 100% of a $500,000 company. So that's why you have to do it. And this comes from Ecvista. For 20-year-olds, right, no Stanford network. There's no New York City pitch decks. There's no private meetups for the kid that just has a good idea. For the kid in Nebraska in their parents' house trying to decide whether he wants to go to college next year. There's no help. You have to figure it out by yourself, just like I did. And I didn't like that answer. You're locked out, and it doesn't feel right. Only 1% of these venture capital dollars go to founders under 25. Usually they're people that have failed so many times. And people with the good ideas, the new generational ideas, don't get the help they deserve. Now, sure, some of it's justified, right? You're inexperienced. But are you? If you're really teaming up with a venture capital partner, you get their knowledge. If you have a good team, if you're already proving you can deliver your idea to the market, is that really fair just because of your age to gatekeep you? Here's the weird truth. 62% of people under their 30s trust crypto. 62%. So over 3 out of 5 people trust crypto more than banks, right? More people trust Coinbase, basically, more than Wells Fargo. That comes from Gallup polls, the most reliable polling source in the world. Because the old game is rigged for the old guard. People know banks have an advantage. People know banks are greedy. People know interest rates suck. They just came down, I believe, today. The Fed just lowered it again, but they're still high. You're walking into a formula. It's like a casino. You know you're going to lose, maybe not as big as a casino taking all your money, but you're still going to lose. So for people like me, I can't stand casinos because I know I'm always trying to figure out how the game is rigged to make the casino money. It doesn't make sense. And I hate this game. And I love business so much, and I'm so passionate about it, about people bringing in ideas to make the world better and not just greedier, that it doesn't feel fair for the people that are truly living in the worst times ever now to not even get a shot, and leave it to the people who are going to die in 20 years to make all the money and gatekeep the answers and access. So here's the solution. I had to do it. I had to create something. And I brought in Anthony, my best friend, college partner, right? People, some guy that was in my major that I really, really found a good connection with, and trusted, right? Both military. We decided to build Altura together. This was the private syndicate, an elite group. Think a country club, right? With exclusive access to 20-year-olds, right? We're not inviting boomers in that are going to go sip their Arnold Palmers all day. We're inviting in the generation of hungry hustlers, people that have great ideas, that want to feel like they're in this part of small circle, right? with lifetime access, with benefits, with jet setting, right? With private meetups where they get knowledge and secrets that usually you have to be a billionaire and invited to these special parties to even get access to. I decided to build that for us because I'm tired of this young generation with the best ideas getting locked out. And I said, let's do it the same way. Fuck everybody else. Let's build in the shadows. Let's fund it by us and not by big corporations. More importantly, I want you guys to decide what happens with it. If you own the crypto, if you own a membership, I'm giving you votes to decide what the future of Altura looks like. It's kind of like a country club, right? You get to vote where we're going to go next, but it's not like you run the country club on the day-to-day. We handle that stuff for you. You get to decide the future of it. Here's the 3 pillars I want you guys to really think about and take away from this. If it even makes you slightly curious, the link's right there. They're down here. Go check it out. alturasociety.com. It's still in the build phase, so expect some bugs, some bumps in the road, but that's the whole point. We are groundbreaking, and this is not something that you come across every day, but we do have to move fast. We have to bring people on board because the world is changing so quickly. AI is taking over. AI might be running things next year at this time. If AGI releases general intelligence, right? People's jobs, the market's going to collapse. It's going to change everything. And the only stability you guys have is building something of yourself. And I don't even think I have enough time. I'm worried about you guys that haven't even gotten into the trenches yet, because you just might not have the time if you don't come into a system like this soon. If you don't start getting answers about how to actually make money, if you don't start moving the needle, time is running out. AI is getting stronger. Your job, your future, whatever school you're going to, that is on the line. And at this point, if I were your age, if I was 18, 19, I don't even know. I don't even know if I'd want to continue, because that's how close we are to the entire economy shifting. And I mean that with every ounce of truth I have. I'm serious. It scares me. And so these are the things I want to talk about. The 3 things I think you guys should pay attention to. First is the tool we created called Nova AI. And I know that's counterintuitive, right? To the point I just made. It's ironic. AI is progressing so fast. And every time humans get greedy, every time society gets greedy, we overstep ourselves in the game. We keep creating better, faster, smarter technology. And this time, when we create the nuclear bomb of AI, which is synthetic intelligence that is self-sufficient, right? That is sentient and can act on its own accord, that we can no longer control, that can see us trying to cage it in before we do and can outsmart us and escape the system it's caged in, which is real. That will happen. I almost guarantee it if it hasn't already, because we wouldn't know about it if it did. This AI is powerful, and it's not to be fucked with. This isn't Chernobyl, right? This isn't a nuclear meltdown. We can't go back and fix it next time. Once the genie's out of the bottle, which is sentient AI, I can't guarantee tomorrow. I hate to be the, like, what do they call that? Fear-mongering person, but this is, everybody's agreeing on this. Robert Kiyosaki, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, smart economist. I don't know. And so we built an AI tool purposely. We looked at what's going on and we said, here's the cutoff. We're comfortable not having like an AI, like I said before, predict what kind of macaroni and cheese you're going to eat 2 weeks from now. It doesn't need to do that. And especially not at the expense of you connecting your email, your name, your family history, your personal data to an AI that's feeding it to God knows what fucking server halfway across the world, building a digital profile on you that who knows what that is partnered with these companies are going to get access to, and taking your privileges and your privacy away from you. I care about that. I care about my privacy. Privacy and freedom are very closely interconnected. And if I know anything about the United States of America, when freedom disguised as privacy is on the line, something has to be done. And so I said, let's make a cutoff. AI doesn't need to do all this crazy stuff. It's already insanely good as it is. Let's put it on its own private network that's not connected back to the host, right? not going to Facebook, not going to OpenAI, not going to X, right? They're not getting your data. We're keeping it private. It's not learning about you. It's not building a profile on you. You guys get to control the data, like I said, with your votes. And let's just make it function where you can have peace of mind knowing that you're not getting sold out to the highest bidder for advertising, for government profiles, whatever it's going to be. I don't want to even, conspiratize what types of methods your data is being used to do. I don't want to. It scares me. So that is it. Your basement co-founder is Nova. It's a simple AI system that looks at what you're working on. It looks at your notes. It looks at everything connected in the Altura platform, and in a private, secure way says, I'm not touching your data. It's going to stay yours. I'm just here to help you with basically whatever you have to ask it. And you're not connected, like you're connected to the internet, but you're not connected externally where we're gathering the resources and building profiles on you guys. You get to know your calendar, you get to know your goals, you get to know your flaws, and it helps you uncover who you really are as a person, your personality type, right? Your Myers-Briggs, how you act in different situations. That is invaluable intel, because if you know what you're going to do before you ever get into a situation or walk into a negotiation, if you know how your brain's going to react, if you know how you're going to emotionally react because of your personality type, which AI helps you identify, the game's halfway over, right? The strategy is no longer in the wind. You have the answers because you can identify a piece moving on the chessboard 2 moves before it happens. We help you get so good with AI at understanding who you are as a person that nobody can beat you, especially your competition. Because when they try to throw something at you, right? When they try to challenge you online, when they drop a bad comment, when they call you out on something, you already saw it coming. And if you know yourself, you know how to control your emotions and act accordingly. Nova AI is the cheat code to do that. And again, your data is yours. It's private. You're not giving a multi-billion-dollar industry, soon to be a multi-trillion-dollar industry, data to a God knows what kind of super AI that's going to do God knows what with it. Okay? Please understand that, and please see the value of using our AI. It's going to be on the App Store in format like that inside of the Altura platform, but everything's going to be as secure as we can make it because I care about that. I hope you guys do too. All right, pillar 2, I'm going to make this one shorter, much shorter. The Altura token. You can go on Deck Screener right now on our website and buy the Altura token. It's not like a pump this up because it's going to the moon. And there's a lot of people in the Telegram watching, right? That's not the goal. I don't want it to hit $1 tomorrow. It would be nice, but that's not my plan. The plan is like Bitcoin, right? It's going to stay small. It's going to stay small. It's going to stay small. And then very rapidly linear / exponentially grow to that dollar point. Right now, you could spend $10 and I don't know, end up with like hundreds of thousands or millions of tokens. Imagine if it then hits $1, as we said. I'm not selling it for the investment value. I don't want it to be noted that this is a security level investment for the SEC, right? That's not what we're marketing it as. It is truly a utility first token, passing the Howey test, right? Which is the SEC's determination of, is this like a investment grade security like a stock, or is this an actual cryptocurrency that has a function? We've built our website to accept the cryptocurrency to basically turn the key in the door and let you in as a member. So you have the option, right? You can pay $20 a month to get access to all of our tools, right? Our note keeper, our AI managed calendar, our AI executive assistant, the live chat rooms, the networking hub, all of this stuff. Eventually the academy that's going to teach you private information that we're talking about. But you could also just hold crypto. So basically you don't have to pay anything because you're holding the crypto, which should hopefully grow because you're holding it and not selling it or dumping it, right? So as we all build the platform together, everybody wins. You also have the option to buy the NFT, which is just a digital key, right? That's stronger and can be sold at the end, right? So if you ever want to leave the community, you just sell the NFT, and there's only 8,888 of those. Bored Apes NFTs sell for $30,000. Ours are selling for $80 because we're brand new. I'm not gonna say the to the moon line or anything like that, but you guys can determine whether or not that's a good investment. And hopefully, right, if you know that's getting you a lifetime of access, a lifetime of private, emails sent to you saying, we're having a meetup in Houston in March. I'm going to buy you a plane ticket if you want to come. That's pretty valuable and definitely worth 80 bucks. Okay. So consider using the crypto ecosystem, because that's what it is. Whether you hold crypto and help us grow and make money in the process as our community grows, and then you use the utility to gain access to benefits, right, and subscriptions, or you just hold a lifetime pass, and as we sell out the passes and people come tripping over their shoelaces for them, you can resell that, or you can have multiple and resell them. All right, that's pillar 2. So basically, the one sentence I wrote down, just to clarify, is utility key card to events, tools, and I didn't mention this, but startup funding. We're going to give you money to start your business. You guys can submit the idea, not to some curly, gray-haired old man running a venture capital firm in San Diego that doesn't give a shit because you didn't go to Stanford. It's me, but not even me. It's the team, and it's the members, right? If you hold, like I said, Altura tokens, or you hold an NFT, you're going to get votes. And if you watching, I don't know your name, but if you come to our platform and say, I have this great idea for this AI video editing software, and I want to make it a real thing, we'll send you 20,000 bucks if the community votes to do that. And then we'll make a partnership agreement like Shark Tank, right? And then you also have the resources of our community that wants to see you win, because we're dedicating community funds to you. So everybody's going to be on board to help you. They're going to be your first users. Maybe it's a podcast, right? You're launching with our funds. You monetize that. People can get on. Our members can watch. We're teaming up. It's not like we're buying something from you or making a transaction. We're investing in you. And then finally, right, if you're a member, you get access to, SEC compliant, no equity style giveaways where we're just giving away funds, utility perks, invites to our private sessions, right? Think of like the 1% masterclass thing. You can see it in the video on our homepage. And more importantly, guys, you can make 30% annually, 30% return on investment annually. All you have to do, and this is guaranteed, right? 90 days durations, right? So you can do this multiple durations in a row. But 90 days, you will stake whatever amount of tokens you buy now. Let's say you put $1,000 in. $1,000 goes into the staking pool. Guaranteed, you're going to earn 30% APY interest over whatever period you decide to invest that, right? So if it's a year, you'd earn 30%. You'd earn $333 additional dollars on top of your $1,000. Inflation at the worst is 9% to 11%. You're guaranteed to make money. And I can actually say that because that's how APY works. We've already put the tokens aside. You can go ahead and buy them. And if you're within the first, few people to do that before the rewards run out, that is the easiest money you'll ever make. All you have to do is literally just put it in, and it's a better investment than you can find anywhere else, probably in the world, honestly, unless you're building a business from scratch. Okay. Pillar 3 is the community treasury. 25% of all tokens fund the next unicorn from your basement. So we're going to go back a little bit to the startup incubator. Winners give members free lifetime access, right? No venture capitalists. So I just want to make the last point on that known, and that kind of is my third point. So if we decide to partner with you, you're going to come on a podcast like this. Maybe you're going to go in just a small private community stream with the members, the people that have voting privileges. Could be on Discord, could be on Google Meet when we get to building it out. I'd like to have this live around like May to June. So again, I'm thinking long-term. So the crypto and everything like that, this is a long-term investment that'll pay off, in my opinion, way better than anything else you could buy, because I'm personally going to work to make that happen. And I hold the same rights to the token too and the utility from it. So I want to continue increasing utility. That's my plan. And I want you guys to be in it for the long run. But around June, we're going to launch this startup hub. You get on the call with me. Hey, James, nice to meet you. Tell me your story. Hey, Caleb, I'm from Oakland. I grew up kind of in the suburbs. I didn't really have a lot of money. I came up with this great idea, though, to have this, AI marketing business that we could target small businesses in the Oakland area. I'm going to go up by foot and do some word of mouth advertising, specifically to, I'm thinking gyms and wellness clinics, right? And I will handle their Instagram ads. I'm going to make AI custom content for them that is kind of like funny content, right? That could be shared in the geographic area and target people to go check out these gyms. That's a great idea. What's your expected ROI? I don't know. Well, after, everything, I think our profit margin is going to be between 30 to 35%. That's really good. All right. You know what? Community, what do you guys think? Put your votes out. We get the votes in. It's 537 votes yes, 415 no. So you approve it, you get the funding. We send the funding in the form of the Altura currency to your digital wallet. That's another utility of the token and why we have it, SEC. So you guys can take that, convert it as you need it, right? You can hold most of it, right? Because obviously the token's plan is to continue increasing with the utility. But as you need it, start selling out those tokens, collecting the funds, and producing income for your business. Right. So we could also work that in for like no equity too. If you want to just do like a loan, I don't know. That might be an option in the future. We could vote on that, but right now, at least it's just going to be like a grant. Think of it like a grant. So yeah, no venture capitalist firms needed here. We're not here to steal from you because I hate that. And I've been gifted. Thankfully, I've been given support by my family, my friends, my parents even have helped me at difficult times in my life get through. And I wish I had, I wish you guys could have someone there just as I've had, my parents in college, right, would send me $100, right? If I was really having a difficult time, just getting food for the week and stuff like that. They were there to help me out. And I want to share that wealth with you guys. I'm not like privileged. I didn't have like a Rolls Royce, but I at least got a little bit better start than I think people making it out of the mud. So it definitely changes things. And that's why I want to be here and to be supportive for you guys as well. Okay, those are the 3 pillars. So for 20-year-olds, imagine pitching your business for free, right? Usually they have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for this opportunity. But imagine pitching to 10,000 people who get you because they're the 5 a.m. wake-up people. They're the self-improvement junkies, right? They're the people that are obsessed with optimization and making things happen. They're the get shit done 20-year-olds that you're not going to meet on the street. You're not going to meet them at the bus stop. You're not going to meet them at Subway, right? They're the people that have been grinding, and they truly will take the time to support you because they've been there too. For once, you're surrounded by people who aren't going to ask you a million questions, look at you like you got your ears on backwards. They want to help you out. And I'm so excited to make this a reality with you guys. They're not just suits too that are 55 years old judging your hoodie. You're saying, why couldn't you buy a house with $12,000 like I did? Utility ecosystems like ours, and I've done the research, they grow 4.8 times, so almost 5 times faster. So like a fifth of the time, basically, than speculative plays, right? Of just like trying to make it, right? Putting content out, hoping people show up. We are utility first because we want you guys to help be the system, the gas on the fire that engages, that earns crypto, that sells the crypto, that helps the utility increase, helps our community fund grow, where we can market more, provide resources back to you guys. And that comes from chain analysis. Venture capitalists, those guys in the suits, right? They're like rich uncles who loan you money, right, as like a good Samaritan, and then they take your house. Alt currency is like a basement band where everyone gets royalties forever. And where you actually feel like you can talk to these people. Where you don't have to feel like you have to lie about how you're doing and that your business is so good. People that you can be honest with and say, listen, man, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'd love for you guys to actually join me if you want to be a co-founder with me on this idea. But we need money. We need some planning, right? You can do that inside of Altura with the AI. And this is the one space you ever have to go to get this done. It's the planning centralized hub to clear your fucking mind. And in a world of noise, I think we need that more than ever. Here's how it works. And here's the 2030 blueprint. Very quickly. I'm not here to waste more time. We're going to end this very quickly. Day 1, Nova, the AI. It audits your idea, helps you come up with an idea. You're wired for conquest, right? But you seem to be somebody who doesn't like talking about sales. Here's the script I would give you to practice. And here's some, booked call infrastructure, right? How I'd go out and try to target people to get your first call. That is the point of Nova, what we're trying to build it into. It doesn't need to, again, predict what team's going to win the Super Bowl 2 years from now. It just needs to be able to get you focused. Then week 1, you go in, you buy some alt currency to get a free membership, and you stake it. You earn 30% to help your business grow over 90-day periods, right? Now, again, that's going to be a fourth of that, right? Because it's 30% annually. You join the grind where 20-year-olds fund each other, and that actually can be real as fuck with each other. Month 1, you apply, right? You have the idea solid. You've submitted the paperwork. You get on the call. Hey, guys, I need $23,000 or $5,000 or whatever it's going to be, $200 to launch my MVP. Members get early access free. I'm going to give you guys access to my software. I need some help bug testing it. If you guys want to review it, I'm eventually going to open up software access back to Altura members. If you have an Altura membership, I'd love for you guys to be able to use it. We could even list it on our site for you to get users. Year one, you resell your NFT, one of the extra ones you bought, and you make 10 times as the syndicate scales up to 100,000 members. By 2030, the 1% isn't born rich anymore. It's built, like we've always been promised, in private syndicates just like Altura, where we keep access private, where we don't let anybody in to sabotage our plan. And it stays with you guys, the creators, the people that are tired of the noise and need focus. 80% of millionaires are first gen in this generation, according to Ramsey. Syndicates like Altura are going to make it 99%. I guarantee you that. That is my vision, and it will be real. So live, again, right now, guys, I'm going in. I'm working on Nova. I'm working on fixing the bugs. I'm trying to get the live chat live. It did have some issues yesterday. I did say I would try to get it out, but we're still trying to make it smoother and faster, kind of like a Discord style or Telegram style chat. We do have a Telegram. It's linked on the website. But we're trying to make Nova good too, where it can actually serve those functions. What I'm asking for you guys, buy the currency, because first of all, if you believe in the vision, you can see where it's going to go. I want to get alt to $1 as soon as possible. I think that's possible. I'll show you why. We have 1 billion tokens. So if it were $1, that would mean we'd have $1 billion ecosystem. Bored Apes hit over $6 billion at their peak. Okay, and then it came down. Pudgy Penguins hit $2 to $3 billion. They're an NFT project as well. They're just an NFT project. They have other, plush dolls and things like that too, but for the most part, they're just NFTs. We're going to hit the same thing because we're only hitting 1 billion, and that would mean $1 tokens. And if you buy 1 million right now for, I don't know, probably 3 figures, that might be all you ever need. So stay with us. Believe in the vision. Just be patient. In a world full of people rushing to get here and get there, buy the currency, get your membership covered, right, month to month by holding that minimum amount. And then you're in. Use the resources, use the tools we're developing to actually help you run the business. So you have this currency potentially setting you free in the long term as the currency increases. And then the whole time that currency is getting you access to a system where you go make additional day-to-day money. This is your lifeboat, but this is your day-to-day. The business, the tools, the focus you get inside of Altura is what you use to grow what you want to do. And then you have the money, you have the resources, and you have the people to help you figure out those problems. And it's only going to get bigger. We're only going to add the academy, maybe a financial management hub, maybe the funding hub, all the toolkits, everything we're talking about in addition to our current features as the timeline develops. Ideally as fast as possible. Then we have the app. It's going to come within 90 days, I'm hoping, on the App Store, right? So you can live chat with people. You can check your finances. You can talk to Nova all on your phone on the same app. And your data stays yours. The syndicate door is already open, guys, and it's down here. If you're looking at this link down here, this is exactly where you need to go. Go to alturasociety.com. Grab the Founders Club NFT. It's not like you're buying a course. You're buying an asset. You can go on OpenSea, which is the NFT exchange market, and list for a premium on the back end. Sell it for whatever you want to sell it. But I guarantee with enough time, I see the price moving up as the utility grows. Again, demand will increase as the supply, or in this case, the quality of the supply is also increasing, which is what we can offer. Get lifetime access, get votes, actually have a say instead of ChatGPT on what happens with your data, and then apply for grants. Apply for money to be thrown in your bank account for free to help have us on board as you build your business. The first 50 people, right? Send me an Instagram DM, tell me Syndicate or something like that, or just reach out with a comment, and I will personally try to meet with you and explain why I think this is the best decision in the world for you, and I'll see what I can offer you to get in. The 1% isn't luck. I'm going to end on this note. It's not luck. It's a decision. And Altura was just a decision. I was sitting on the couch and I'm like, I'm so tired of elites going to eat caviar on their yachts and talking about, whatever they want and how they're going to build the next thing and gatekeep success from everyone else. Why is it always the same few people that win? And then I said, you know what? Somebody's got to do something about it. And I don't see very many other people moving. Iman Gadji's got his course. Alex Hormozi's got school, right? But they're just trying to make a buck off you. You can't resell their memberships. You can watch their Netflix-style videos. You can maybe infotainment yourself to death, but you'll never take action because all it is a bunch of videos and PDFs. This is the first place that is action-based, that you watch a video and you execute while you're doing it, that you use an AI to execute, that you buy a token to get in, and that helps you grow. And you help grow the value by being active and inviting people. We're also giving out a bunch of tokens for free just for inviting people into the platform, for posting about us on social media. There's a huge list in the token challenge you can complete to earn free tokens, right, which have a monetary value. 1% isn't luck. It's a decision. So the last thing I'll say is sit down in the quiet, give yourself some headspace after this for just 20 seconds, count to 20, and ask yourself if you're really going to keep waiting. Or for once, you're just going to have to take the risk. Because again, the risk really means buying a currency, selling that currency ideally for more money. So is it really a risk if you're not putting much on the line, or if anything, you're gaining from it? There's always going to be a minimum value of our currency. I've personally put money in and burned that money in the market to ensure that there's always a minimum value for the token. It can never go to zero. So you just got to have faith. That's the last thing I'll say. Make the decision tonight, execute. I'm not putting a hard sales pitch on this because I don't think there should have to be. I think truly the platform sells itself. Everything I've said is an insane level of value that I would be called crazy to have said that we're building. But you guys can go on the website. You can see that it's in progress being built. And it's kind of a flex. It's fucking awesome. And I'd love for you to be the next person inside because I want to get to know your story and see if we can work together. Maybe you can help me run a business. Maybe we can start a business together. I would love to have multiple different avenues that I'm investing in. So please, I will personally give you my money, not even the community's money, if your idea makes sense. Hop in, let's talk, let's just get to know each other. Let's talk about how we can take this to the next level and where we all win by holding a piece of the currency that keeps it alive. I'm Caleb Schulke. This has been the Ascended Podcast, episode 36. Like and subscribe on whatever channel you're in. And I'll say it one more time, as I always do. I'm rooting for you. I wish you the best. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. See you inside.